Top 10 most iconic testimonies from the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Hi, I'm your host Bridget Shields, and let's get into today's video. Number 10. Heard's acting coach. Kristina Sexton, an acting coach who worked with Heard between 2011 and 2017, said in a recorded testimony that as Heard and Depp's relationship progressed and as time went on, she started seeing less and less of them together and would often hear loud arguments while inside their home for acting sessions, saying that it went from being like a normal couple to very tension-filled, especially those last few months that they were together. Sexton added, quote, "I would say that last year they were together, probably 80 to 90% of our sessions began with her crying." In her deposition, Sexton said that she could tell when Heard's tears were genuine because, ironically, she has a little difficulty crying when she's acting. This testimony was so iconic because it was used against Heard later in the trial by Camille Vasquez, Depp's lawyer, who accused Heard of faking tears, calling the actor's testimony the performance of her life, and accused Heard of sobbing without tears during her testimony throughout the trial. Number 9. The poop testimony. Depp told the court that as his relationship with Heard unraveled, he wanted to collect his belongings from their Los Angeles penthouse. He said he let his security guards know he planned to go inside the building, but he received a message from them saying it wasn't a good time. Depp said he wanted to know why when he was told he should wait, because there was, quote, human fecal matter on his side of the bed. The actor added that he was sent a picture of the feces as proof, saying that it was so bizarre and so grotesque that he could only laugh. Well, I'm sure that was the court's reaction too. Depp said that when confronted, Heard tried to blame it on their Yorkies, but from the way he described the whole incident, it was clear that Heard had actually defecated on the bed. Depp's bodyguard, Starling Jenkins, told the court he spoke to Heard about the surprise she left in the boss's bed prior to leaving the apartment, and that at the time, Heard called it a horrible practical joke gone wrong. Number 8. Depp's agent. In a videotaped deposition recorded on the 19th of January, Christian Carino, Depp's former CAA agent, appeared to be through with discussing his former client's issues, but told the court the actor had become unemployable in Hollywood following Heard's allegations of domestic violence. Carino, a longtime agent who had previously represented Depp, said he warned the actor's handlers that his legal disputes were becoming a distraction for the Pirates of the Caribbean actor's career, saying that the general public doesn't want to hear that people that they look up to are in litigation. Carino said the non-stop coverage, including when Depp lost his case against The Sun in 2020, affected the actor's off-screen reputation. He admitted that he began to have discussions with Pirates of the Caribbean producer Jerry Bruckheimer about Depp being dropped from the 6th film in the lucrative Disney franchise, which means that because of Heard's accusations, Depp missed out on a massive payday to the tune of $22.5 million. Number 7. The TMZ testimony. The explosive testimony from former TMZ journalist Morgan Tremaine established that the celebrity news publication had been able to publish exclusive photos and videos of Heard during the early stages of their contentious divorce, based on tips it received about her whereabouts. This directly contradicts the recorded testimony from Heard, saying that she was caught off guard by the presence of the photographers and that she has no idea how TMZ got hold of the story. Tremaine testified that he dispatched paparazzi to stay outside the Los Angeles courthouse based on an anonymous tip to capture photos of her in 2016 when she filed for a temporary restraining order against Depp. This slip-up really affected Heard's credibility as a witness, but what makes this testimony so iconic is when under cross-examination, Brett Hoft said to Tremaine, quote, "This gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't it?" He responded with, quote, "I could say the same thing about you taking Amber Heard as a client." Number 6. Depp's sound engineer. When Johnny Depp's friend and sound engineer Keenan Wyatt appeared in court, he narrated an incident when Heard yelled at him during a private flight. He also mentioned that he had never seen Depp attack anybody and spoke about a time he joined the former couple on a private jet flight from Boston to Los Angeles in May of 2014. It was then that he noticed Heard was giving Depp the cold shoulder, and at one point he tried to comfort her by telling her that Depp cares about her, which resulted in Heard yelling at him, saying, quote, "How dare you talk to me?" and screaming at him to get away from her. The incident on the private jet would have solidified the jury's opinion of Amber Heard, and it was a really interesting testimony because we got to see how she treats certain people around her. Number 5. Heard's sister. Heard's sister, Whitney Henriquez, testified on the stand about a fight she witnessed between Heard and Depp shortly after the two stars were married. The fight escalated to the point that Henriquez found herself caught in the middle of it. She testified that after Heard discovered text messages on Depp's phone from a former girlfriend, Depp, who was drunk according to Henriquez, became angry. Quote, "They were saying horrible horrible things to one another. She was calling him old and fat. It was a fight. Depp was actually caught on camera laughing at this, which makes the whole testimony very iconic. When Henriquez went to the top of the stairs to try to calm her sister down, she says Depp ran up after her and struck her in the back. Then, Heard stepped in and apparently punched him in the face. Soon after that event, Henriquez said Depp asked her to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which she claims she refused. Number 4. Depp security staff. Starling Jenkins, a longtime member of Depp security staff, testified that the morning after Heard's 30th birthday, on April 21st, 2016, he was informed by Heard that she, quote, got in a fight with Johnny last night, and that she threw his phone, wallet, credit cards, and passport over the balcony and onto the street below. Jenkins said that he then used the Find My iPhone program to track down Depp's phone to Skid Row, a Los Angeles neighborhood known for its homeless population. The items were found to be not far from the former couple's apartment building, and Jenkins said that he approached a homeless man about the phone who was honest and actually returned it, saying, quote, I gave him a reward for it, $420, chicken tacos, chips, apples, and Fiji water. The whole story was just so funny and heartwarming. Number 3. The bee testimony. Heard took the stand and told the jury how her dog injured itself, leading her to a veterinarian's office on the day she claimed Depp forced a cavity search on her. The actress said that it was the same day they had taken psychotropic mushrooms during a trip to the Hicksville Trailer Palace in Joshua Tree, California. Heard recalled to the court before wincing while giving details about a day she and her ex-husband Depp got into a vicious fight. Quote, my dog stepped on a bee. The moment went viral on TikTok, with so many people becoming obsessed with the clip and stitching together videos of their own random rhymes and winces. In fact, hundreds of videos have been made, gathering hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. For some reason, this was one of the most iconic testimonies of the whole trial. Number 2. The front desk staff. In a recorded video deposition, Alejandro Romero, a front desk employee at Depp and Heard's LA penthouse building, made it clear he wanted no part of the case. He said he couldn't remember much about the couple's time together, nor did he want to, saying that they sent him the papers to review. He didn't even want to review it because it's been so long. Quote, it's like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore. The doorman was seated in the driver's seat of a vehicle in the video, and at one point he drank soda, took a puff, and then drove off for lunch, adding, quote, I'm so stressed because of this. I just don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm tired. I just don't want to deal with this court case. Everybody's got problems and I don't want to deal with this anymore. After dismissing the jury for lunch, Judge Penny looked shocked and said she's seen a lot of things, but that was a first. Heard's attorney Elaine Bredhoft agreed, calling it the most bizarre deposition. And coming in at number 1, Depp's testimony. While on the stand, Depp rejected his former partner's claims of domestic violence outright, telling jurors he had, quote, never struck Heard in that way, nor have I struck any woman in my life. Instead, Depp alleged that he suffered at the hands of Heard, who physically attacked and demeaned him on multiple occasions. Quote, it could begin with a slap, it could begin with a shove, it could begin with throwing a TV remote at my head. He added that Heard has a need for conflict, and she has a need for violence, which erupts out of nowhere. This was such an effective testimony because not only did the actor finally get a chance to defend himself, but his defense team used Heard's own words to back up these claims, such as audio recordings and handwritten notes. And in one recording, she can be heard admitting to hitting Depp before mocking him and calling him a baby. And in a letter to Depp, she apologized for getting crazy and writing, I'm sorry I hurt you. His testimony, along with the evidence his lawyers were able to produce, was truly the nail in the coffin for Heard's crumbling defense. Let us know in the comments if there's any other iconic testimonies we missed, and as always, thanks for watching.